Bronco, are there going to be any depth chart changes after reviewing the film? Or is it
No depth chart changes other than anyone that's hurt. Braden Hansen being the most significant right now. I anticipate 2 to 4 weeks. Could be a little less or a little more, but that's probably the only thing that would have an impact on our depth from the last game. We've got guys beat up, but should be ready by Saturday, but he'll probably miss reps during the week.
Groin strain or tear with Braden?
I'm not sure. You can check with Jeff.
Can you just talk about the impact on the O-line, losing Houston, losing Famika, and now Braden's going to be out for a couple of weeks? Guys that might have been there, and played big roles.
Yeah, we felt really good about the depth going into the fall. We've lost six players now at that position, but you just keep going, and it doesn't do us really any good to dwell on it or agonize over it. We've still got a lot of work to do and games to play, and so we plug in the next player the best we can and keep going.
Is Alex Caressa officially moved to quarterback, or what's the deal?
Alex is playing quarterback for this week to help us with Georgia Tech, and so that's what's happening.
So he's the scout team quarterback?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
As far as your use of timeouts, is that something you maybe reviewed? Because it's obviously you were down to one against Notre Dame. And was there any mistake made there?
No, I don't think there was. With 6.5 minutes to go, we knew exactly when we wanted to use it, and we were hopeful to use it after a third down stop. So we had the 3rd and 5. We were planning on using it then, and then we got down to where we had to use it, and so that's what it was.
Coach, what about getting to that point and only having one timeout left? Is there some frustration that you've had to burn timeouts earlier?
No, I mean, you manage the game the best way you can, and that didn't make or break or win or lose the game for us. So I actually didn't even think about it until asked that in the press conference after. So I don't think that was really a significant issue, quite frankly.
Can you talk about Georgia Tech's offense? Is it similar to what you've seen from Air Force?
Parts are similar, but parts are not. It's about 500 yards a game and 37 points. So yeah, they're very good. They run it really well, do some unique things with the option, and they throw it better than what you would think. So yeah, quite a challenge coming up.
Had you become acquainted with Paul Johnson's offense in years past for whatever reason through different connections, or are you really only seeing it now full in depth for the first time?
Really only seeing it now. I mean, bits and pieces from Navy, etc. But once you see and are preparing for the offense itself, then you see the additional things that are kind of intricacies that come with it. It's really good.
Yeah. So missed tackles against the Irish. Is that a concern with another running team?
It is, but it's a different kind of running attack. And I was really impressed with Notre Dame's runners. They had 3 of them. And over the course of the game, well, I shouldn't say that. We missed some the first and second plays of the game, and so I realized right then they were good. And so trying to work hard to get extra players to the ball was really what we were working to do. But they had quite a few yards after contact and broke a lot of tackles. To our guys' credit, they were great in the blue zone, and they held the points down to where we had a great chance to win. And so I still thought they played well. Didn't tackle well and gave up a crucial first down on the 3rd and 5, but other than that, I mean, when you compare our game versus anyone else they've played, we had as good a chance as anybody.
I think Paul Lasike's last touch was the fumble he recovered on a 4th down against Utah State. Him not touching the ball on that fumble, are the events correlated?
Probably correlated somewhat, but I don't think you can underestimate Jamal Willis. Jamal Williams. That's about the 10th time I've done that. Jamal Williams' role, and I'm not sure really how much you want to give it to anybody else right now. He's doing a really nice job.
Joe Sampson returned the ball out of the end zone a couple times, and it's costing you field position. Do you ever step in and say, let's take a knee?
Yeah, from the last week in practice, the instructions were pretty clear. Don't return it unless you can get past the 25. And so that level of scrutiny has certainly gone up.
From a D coordinator standpoint, scheming for this option attack, is it a headache or is it fun for you?
I'm passionate about it. I like it a lot. I've been on good and bad days with defending the option. More good than bad, but when you're playing well, it's very gratifying. When you're not, you feel helpless. And so there's an extra sense of urgency, but I like the challenge, and hopefully the players will understand that. But it's really hard.
Coach, how impressive have you been with Jamal Williams the last 3 weeks? He's proven himself only 17 years old to play that well.
Yeah, I'm really impressed from just the way he's managing the settings he goes in, the touches he gets, and how he's running the ball. And he seems confident, and I think he's on the right track.
Do you know Rob Akey at all?
I do. I know him well.
Give your thoughts on him.
Yeah, I'm saddened and disappointed. And just a couple of years ago, there was a bowl game for Idaho, and longevity for head coaches is not something that is, I think, recognized past 2 or 3 years, and it's hard to see friends not have the success others deem necessary to keep going. But I think he's a good man and a good coach.
It may not come from you, but do you know how soon the 2013 schedule should be put to bed for you for next year? Or?
It won't come from me, and so probably Tom is the one to address from that, but it's basically finished from what I know.
Coach, Riley's that rare BYU quarterback that hasn't appeared to make a jump from his junior to his senior season. What do you think are the reasons for that?
Oh, I think injuries certainly are part of it, and our strength of schedule is certainly part of it, but we're really close, and our program intends to keep grinding out, and there's been 3, or I would say 4 really close games and tough losses, but I still think we're gaining momentum and making progress, and Riley is leading us while we do it. And might not be the prolific breakthrough that people want and the time, but I still see us inching really close to breaking through into what it depends if Notre Dame finishes at 5 or Oregon State's at 8 or whatever. We'll find out at the end, but it'll be interesting to see.
Will anybody have to take a red shirt off, perhaps, with the latest O-line injury?
I don't think so. Our plan as of right now is we've been training Tui Crichton at nose tackle, and so we're going to use him at offensive line this week, and hopefully that'll stop the bleeding for this week, and so we can practice.
Coach, one of the hallmarks of your program for a long time was winning all the close games, the 7-point games, kind of 50-50 in the last little while. Do you look at that? What do you see there?
Oh yeah, they hurt more. Knowing that you're right there, and 1, 2, or 3 plays are the difference. But we're playing good teams, and we're playing them on the road, and it's kind of the next era. When I started this job and to where it is now, expectations are even higher. Schedule more demanding. We're playing better football against better teams, and that's what's coming next, and I welcome it. But we have to also execute at even a higher level now to have maybe that hallmark we did before.
Is that the message you'd give to fans whose patience might be wearing a little thin with the recent struggles?
I'm not sure. Really, I don't hear many negative things. Most are complimentary toward how we're playing and etc. But there'll always be critics, and I gauge what I see, and I think there is progress. I think the program is moving forward, and I think we're taking on kind of an all-comers type of approach, and it's going to keep going that way for the next. Well, when you see 13 schedule, you'll see it. When you see 14s, you'll see it. When you see 15s, you'll see it. And so it's not going the other way. And I like the challenge, and I like the places we're playing and who we're playing, and we're 1 or 2 plays away, and that's the next step.